tragedy that, you know.
Well, hello, I'm Jerry McKee, and we're going to make sure I got everything here going good. Yes, it is. Do a little click here. Well, tonight's a special. You're going to look and I say, why it's not Monday night at 7 o'clock? No, remember we have specials once in a while that will pop in. I got you some inside information on the fair. You know, from the horse's mouth himself. I'm not calling him a horse, but he is the director, Paul Winters, of the fair. And we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the fair and a little bit about how long he's been there and get the scoop on how they find some of this wonderful talent and especially some of the good food. Fair food you can't beat. I can't tell you, you know, you got to have fair food just like you got to have Thanksgiving turkey and dressings once a year. Well, you got to at least have that. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And let me switch to Paul here. Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's great.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, now, Paul, how long has the fair been going in Union? You know how many years?
Yeah, so Jerry, you know, we started in 1908 is what the record books show. So I will tell you, I kind of got involved in it at the 100th year. That was the year I changed careers when I was working with Walmart and was going to church with Dougie Gillum, and he asked me, hey, you want to come help us during Fair Week? And I did, and you know, so I was in 2008, so that was the 100-year anniversary that year.
Wow.
And then, you know, you talked about how I got involved in it. Well, the next year, he had decided to give up the position as the director, and he said, hey, why don't you consider, you know, putting in for it? And lo and behold, the board back then contracted me or employed me to come on, and I've been there ever since. I celebrate year 15 as the executive director of the fair, and I'm really proud to serve the county. It's one of these positions that I call it my side gig. I do it, and I do it because I enjoy it. And I've created a lot of friends over the years in the industry, and it's a fun industry to be in.
Oh, I can imagine so. To me, it'd be like every kid's little dream, get to work for the fair.
Yeah.
And I know when we used to go in Hickory to the fair when I was a kid like that, you know, I think, man, when I grow up, I want to be one of the, I want to do one of them rides. You know, so I ride it all the time. You know, now the fair starts next Tuesday.
Correct.
And it goes from
5 days.
5 days. And what time does it open up?
Fair hours we're running Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. We open at 4 to 10. The gates open at 4, close at 10 on those nights. Friday night we open at 4 and we'll stay open until 11. There's a home ball game, so people can trickle on over after the game. And then Saturday we open up at 1 o'clock until 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So
I know one thing that's always fun when the fair does leave like that, and I interviewed a professional metal detector guy that has all these fancy metal things to go in and find all these.
It probably finds a little change on the ground.
It does, and who knows? You know, we used to look around all the time. The fair, just looking down for, you know.
Yeah.
You never know what you find.
That's true. That's true. So.
Now, Paul, how do you determine from year to year, because you've got to, people think, well, oh, you got a great job, you don't have to work 1 week out of the year.
Yeah, no, that's not the way it works.
How you usually get started, usually when this one's going or before this one's gone, you're looking at other things. How do you, and I think you have a staff.
Board.
How do y'all determine on what's coming?
Right. So we're involved in the South Carolina Fair Association. It's an association that we're a member of. And then obviously it's a group of fairs in South Carolina, and we partner with Georgia. So every year we have a South Carolina Georgia Association convention. It's a 3-day convention that we have 1 year to be in somewhere in Georgia. This year it's going to be in South Carolina at Charleston. And at that event, there's some educational rotations that we go to about different, marketing your fair, safety at your fair. There's just different things that are that are really, good learning type things, but they have a trade show during the time that we're there. And what happens in this trade show, all of these performers that work the fair circuit, fair and event and festival circuit, they will come there, and that's where you can see, different attractions and what they have to offer, and that's usually when we'll make some decisions on, we call them the ground acts that we'll bring to the fair. And we also, if need be, we can contract a carnival that can work us. Now, we've been very fortunate that we contracted a carnival in 2011. Let's see, I worked 09 and 010, and after the 10 season, we had to change carnivals, and we contracted, back then it was Family Attractions was the name of it, the Macaroni family. He got out of it, and his son, Joshua Macaroni, took it over, and of course he has a new show called Primetime Amusements. So we've had the Macaroni family in that carnival as our carnival provider since 2011, and they do really a great job. That's an eclectic industry. I mean, those guys are on the road probably, at least 10 months out of the year, and then when they're not on the road, they're getting ready to go out on the road. It's an industry that's they're heavy on capital. Those rides, they're not cheap. Some of them are over $1 million. Those rides they have to buy, and that's not their biggest expense. The insurance and all that they have to carry, and then them trying to find labor to work. The Primetime Amusements have figured out a way to use foreign labor the right way, and he contracts them year round, so he has a good, solid staff. They're clean, they put on a good show, they're up to date, they're safe, and they bring a lot of rides. So we're going to have about 28 rides this year, several adult rides, that are very popular. So.
Now, when I can imagine trying to keep a good payroll. And people there because you're moving from state to state all the way across the land, and people's got to uproot and go with you.
Yeah.
And another question I got to ask you, and do you get to go and actually look at some of these acts to see if you're really interested in it?
Yeah, some of them will actually will perform at the convention. They have a showcase, if you will. A lot of them, I'll tell you, it's that convention is kind of it's a networking time frame where we'll talk to other fair directors and boards and say, hey, have you had this attraction? Have you had that attraction? And then they have their talent agencies that are agents, if you will, that will actually, do some of the bookings for them. And of course, they make the recommendations, hey, this is a good show or that's a good show. Or some of the shows that we've had, that we've had good success with, I'll go back to them and say, hey, what do you think about this show? And they'll say, yeah, that's a great show. I'll give you an example. Last year, we had the Rockin' Circus. And
that guy was good.
Yeah, Louis Andrews, I asked him because he travels the circuit. I said, what do you think about a thrill show? And I said, hey, you got to get Rockin' Circus, and he's right. So a lot of it comes from referrals. We as a board, we kind of like to change it up. There's not many animal acts out there. We've had lots of them. We've had elephants. We've had tiger shows. We had a couple tiger shows during my 15 years. Jerry, the show we're bringing this year, we had it back in 2015, and it's probably one of the most popular shows on the fair circuit. So we're proud to bring that to Union.
Well, that's because I was always wondering how that some of the shows like that. You have after you contract this, can for instance, other vendors that's out that does these shows like Tiger Show, do they come separate, or are they part of the package?
No, we book each one individually. So yeah, so we'll have a kids show. We'll book a kids show. This year we've got the magic show that we've got coming, Doc Magic, and so he's separate. We have a dog show called Puppy Pals that's coming this year.
And that puppy the Puppy Pals was on was it America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
And I tell you what, she is good with them dogs.
Yeah,
That's a smart
yeah.
dog.
Those are all rescue dogs, and so we'll have that set up. And then, like I said, we've got another. It's a free attraction called Agri Golf. That's going to be. We're going to utilize our upper building. I call it the industrial building, and it's kind of a putt sort of thing, but it has an agricultural theme that they try to educate the participants' kids on agriculture and stuff. So,
well, there's the golf thing there. Now I think I've seen some pictures of that right there. I mean, it's really pretty way it's lit up.
Yeah. They set that up outside. We're going to have it inside the building, so we're just trying to make use of that building, and it's a big wide open building that we don't utilize, and we spent a lot of money on renovating it this year, so we're going to put it in there, and we'll see how we do the lights. I don't know. We'll work that out. But anyway.
Well, maybe they get there because that's the prettiest thing of it.
Yeah,
lights like that.
Yeah.
So that is some. That's I was looking at some good talent there, but I want to show somebody this good ad that you have.
Sure, yeah.
It caught my attention because I love animation anyway,
Right.
And I use some of the AI on a couple of things of mine.
Right.
But I want to let people watch this a second.
Yeah.
This year, we're making a splash at the Union County Agricultural Fair, October 15th through the 19th. Dive into a world of fun, thrills, and unforgettable memories. Experience thrilling rides, indulge in delicious fair food, and immerse yourself in non-stop entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss our splash-tacular attractions. Sea Lion Splash. Watch these playful sea lions dazzle you with their tricks and charm in an interactive show. Puppy Pals, the stunt dog show that wowed America's Got Talent. Doc's Magic Fun Time Variety Show, a blend of magic and comedy that'll leave you in stitches. And don't miss the all-new Agri Golf. Challenge yourself to a hole-in-one. But that's not all. One lucky fairgoer will drive away in a car. We'll see you at the Union County Agricultural Fair. Making a splash has never been so much fun. Mark your calendars for October 15th through the 19th and visit itsmyfair.com for more details.
Okay, that was a great commercial.
Yeah.
I like that. When I first seen it, I said, "Gosh, I just not seeing this. Let me put this thing out here. I got to see it."
Yeah. It's
And it tells a little bit about of each thing you're going to have.
right, and that's really a big part of it. We spent a lot of money to bring these attractions here, and the whole idea is we'll reach out to people with something they may be interested in. The Sea Lion show, like I said, it's one of the best shows that's on the circuit. And it's kind of like one of these things. Well, where can you go see a sea lion in Union?
Really, it's hard to go to the beach and see a sea lion.
Yeah, well, you got to go to a zoo. So
Right.
we're bringing a zoo attraction right here to the fairground. And you know what, Jerry? All it takes is their admission into the fair. And if they take advantage of some of our like church night and things like that, you don't have to pay to see it. So
Wow.
So we try to really bring a true value to the community.
And on church night, they bring their bulletin.
No, on church night, the way that works, we started that in 2008. You go to church, the participating churches, they have to agree to participate and agree to distribute the ticket. It's a ticket to get in.
Right.
And you go to these participating churches on this coming up Sunday, and they pass them out when you leave church, and you bring those tickets, and you get in from 4 to 8, free of charge. There's a coupon on there for the ride bands for that night, and again, you can enjoy the fair, and that is our Christian music night. We'll have performers on the stage. We'll have Jerry Gossett's going to start off the night. He's a local guy, very popular. He does a lot of popular Southern gospel type songs. So he'll kick the night off. Well, we've got a group called Serenity with Pastor Rossi Hames. He'll be on there next. Okay. He'll appeal to a lot of our urban churches here in the community. And then our headlining group is called Chosen Road. They actually performed back in the spring or in the winter I think it was in the spring, they performed at, I believe it was Mount Etna.
Right.
One of our board members saw them and said, "Hey, you ought to try to get this group. They were really good." So, so we've got them contracted for that.
Okay.
So,
I know most people have this perception, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to ride rides or not because they go from one place to another, the safety of it. Tell us a little bit about the safety and
yeah.
inspections.
So, and there is a lot of reluctance about that. But let me tell you, these guys that have these traveling carnivals, their restrictions and their inspections that they have to go through is more rigorous than you would ever imagine. They have to pay for their own independent inspector, and then the state Department of Labor, they come in with their inspector. They're required to keep certain records. That's what the state DOI guys or Department of Labor guys will look at, is that, hey, are you making sure you're doing your daily checklists and keeping a log and keeping record of all that. And then they actually look at these rides really almost with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that they're accurate. I'll give you one example. We had the year of COVID. We didn't have it in the fall, but we come back in the spring, and we had a carnival they were based out of Florence. We just did a spring event, and they brought their rides. They set up this Ferris wheel, a huge big wheel, I call it. It took them a day or two to put it up, and when they had the inspector come in, the inspector noticed a hairline crack on one of it wasn't even the supporting structure on that Ferris wheel, and they wouldn't let him operate.
Wow.
So, it would have caused no danger to anybody, but that's how strict they are. So,
Well, it just about have to be, and like I said, and the owners of these right here, I imagine they have to pay a good price for insurance.
oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah, it's an astronomical.
They have to keep a daily log or hourly log or how?
They keep track every day. There's a daily log, an inspection log that they're required on every ride that they have to check.
And I guess if it comes around, they don't have that one. They probably shut them down.
Yeah, and as sponsors, we have a checklist too that we have to do every week to, when they come, and we walk through and we look for simple things like, they have a fire extinguisher with them and things
Right.
like that. We don't get into any details of any time, but there's some basic things that we follow up on as well.
Who does the layout where everyone goes and sets up like it? Because that always kind of intrigued me too. I says, somebody maps this out pretty good to have these in certain spots, and you got to have the measurements, and it's got to have a certain criteria there.
Yeah.
Who does all that?
The carnival does that. They know the size that's going to require, and it's not just the footprint for the ride. They have to have obviously a safety gate that goes around it. In fact, I was walking with him, and he was here. What is today? Thursday. He was here Wednesday, and we were walking the grounds. He said, "Hey, can I?" Because we have a ground act that they've been put in the same spot every year. He said, "Can we move that to a different spot? Because when I put my ride up here, I can't get it level without jacking it up really high. It's because of the topography of the ground." And I said, let's shift around. And so there's lots of things that they have to look at. We have a great facility. We have a great fairgrounds, but it's not perfect. So there are some spots that are a little bit more challenging than others, and so we work with it. But he does that every week, and they're out on the road, like I said, 10 months out of the year. So.
Yeah, they come in, they pretty well
They know exactly how. And I'll tell you, you talk about the assembly of these rides, and I can't speak for other carnival operators, but Prime Time, because he has his own foreign labor crew, he has about 60 of them that work with him year-round. The same guys that he has on his crew are the ones that will put up the same rides and take them down week after week.
Wow.
So they're not hiring these people off the street to come in here and
Just
turn
throw it
wrenches.
together,
These guys that put them together, they know what they're doing, and that really, to me, that's, for us, I have faith and confidence that, hey, they're safe.
Right. Well, with these guys coming in and they do this, same guys over and over again, yourself, in any job whatsoever, you start bringing in new people, like they're going to be trained.
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
Like this. That's a good part. The most important thing to me, is what kind of food you're going to have.
Yeah, fair food. Yeah, that's absolutely coming. So, we're kind of fortunate. We're unique to a lot of fairs. We have our local folks that come out here. Fat Sam's has got a food stand. They'll be back again this year. El Plebano Mexican restaurant has a food stand. The Squad House, it's called, was ran by the rescue squad. They're changing hands, and the Buffalo Fire Department is taking it over and taking over that lease.
I heard that they was going to have something.
Yeah, so they ran it last year, kind of sublet it from the Squad House folks, but he's taking it over. They're taking it over this year, and then we have a new local food person coming in. Hart's is no longer in operation, and Wings Sports Pub. Wings.
Yes.
Monk has taken over that one, so we'll have that will be our fourth. So,
well, and I like having local people because we're around them every day.
Yeah,
and we know what type of food, and know what these things are, and we know it's going to be good.
Yeah. And we want to support a local. Not that these other guys. Now these guys that are local, they don't have any fried funnel cakes. They don't have any.
Right.
They don't have any. They're not going to serve chicken on a stick or hog on a log or turkey legs. That's coming from other ones that coming in.
I got to ask, what is hog on the log?
It's a smoked pork loin on a big toothpick. And he puts them on the grill. He gets them smoked and seasoned. That's Glenn Pulver. He's out of Tampa, Florida. They're in Spartanburg this week. So I have about 2 or 3 traveling food vendors, is what I call them, that come back every year. And why do I stick with those? It's because they do a good job.
Right.
And people will actually look for them every year. Hog on a log. They come back and they're going to get a hog on a log. They're going to get chicken on a stick.
I might have to try that. Right. I've never tried a hog on a log.
Yeah, they're going to get chicken on a stick. They're going to get their sausage and onion, Polish sausage and Italian sausage, I guess, and
corn dog.
Corn dogs, yep.
Yeah,
fresh corn dog. I didn't realize, when I eat corn dogs, I buy them in frozen and put them in the microwave. But these guys, they make the batter, they dip them, and they fry them. And, there's a lot to be said about it. Got a new guy that's coming out of New Jersey that's going to have some popcorn, kettle corn, some other kettle corn. And he does fried cannoli. So if you like cannoli, he'll be there too. So, and there's a few other locals that we'll have out there on traveling. But we don't have a lot of independent space, but we do have our share, and we have our regulars, I call them, and of course funnel cakes. We'll have two independent funnel cake places, and then of course the carnival bring some food too, and so
candy apples,
popcorn.
My wife's favorite, candy apples.
Yeah, we'll have them, and we ask you to support the ones inside the fair. And I know we'll have some around the fairgrounds, which is, that's capitalism, I guess. And they want to be out there and do it. But these guys that are coming to the fair, and it's like Santa Claus comes one year, the fair once a year.
Right.
Santa Claus comes. The fair comes once a year. So. Come inside and support them. That's how they make a living. You might pay a buck more for a candy apple, but these guys that's what they do.
Right. Now, there's the food vendors, and even including the local ones like that. Do they have DHEC comes in and does the inspections?
They do. Yep, they're required, and the fire marshal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, local fire marshal will go to and inspect. We've had issues in the past that they didn't meet qualifications and they had to make adjustments and whatever. Yeah, so, they have to meet all the inspections.
Right.
Sure
and so that's great, because a lot of people get this perception where anybody just going to start throwing food up or stuff like that. And,
not prepared food, not if you're preparing it on site.
Right. And so, and that's comforting there too. It's okay. We know about the safety there, of all the rides. We know the safety of the food and things, and that to me is great. Now, what type of entertainment you going to have, as far as musical main stage?
On the fair, on our main fair stage. So I'll kind of go down the list. Opening night is Tuesday. We have karaoke night. Greg Manus brings us karaoke. And does that on that night.
You know, I did that one time at the fair. I did the karaoke music and stuff, and years ago. Greg does a great job.
Yeah, he does. He's coming there, and that's I call it the bargaining night, overnight. Come in. Gates are open at 4. It's $2 with a canned food donation. We try to give back to the community with that, and then our rides are $2 ride tickets. The rides will take 1 or 2 tickets to ride them. So that's kind of a bargain night. And like I said, Greg will be on the fair stage. Livestock shows that start that night. We'll have the beef show. The beef show will be in the barns. We'll have that going on.
This is the beef show showing the cows.
Showing the cows. The kids will show the cows and get judged and win the ribbons and the prizes and so forth for that. So. And then, of course, Wednesday's church night. Now, that afternoon, we kick it off with our lunch for seniors. That's a free event from 11:30 to 2. So seniors can come out. The county puts that on, and they'll sponsor that for us. And then, of course, we mentioned a little bit that's church night and the group we got there. Livestock show that night is our pullet show, which you don't know what a pullet is. That's a chicken. Okay.
Well, I was getting ready to ask.
Yeah.
You
Chicken.
can tell. I grew up in the
Chicken
city.
show, and we do a 4-H rabbit project. They'll show their rabbits. And then church night will kick off around 4:30, or between 4:30 and 5. The Jerry Gossett will kick it off that night. Thursday night is we call it School Spirit Night. It's our student tickets we passed out this week for all the students at all the schools. We'll pass that out. Get them to the schools Monday. So folks, remind your kids, hey, and be asking about getting those tickets to the schools, because it's up to the schools to pass them out. So that's on Thursday, and we got some local groups on that night. We got the high school choir group will be performing first, and we got a guy that comes every year, Vincent Downing. Then the Travis Smith Band and another local band, Floor 74, will finish out the night.
Oh, okay.
So Friday night is Fun Day Friday, we call it. Gates again will open at 4. We'll stay open till 11. Ride bands are $30 for ride all your rides for one price. And the fair stage will have a guy named Jacob Bueno will kick off the evening. He's a kind of an individual guy. He performs out there at that ranch they got out there, and I forgot the name of it. He performs out there a lot off
Wildwood Ranch.
Wildwood Ranch.
Yes,
yeah, he'll perform out there. He does that a lot. And then we have another band out of, I think they're out of Anderson. It's a rhythm and blues Cecil Gray band. I've had a lot of requests to bring in a urban or rhythm and blues rhythm and blues band, and so I've heard some of his stuff. They play some classics, Michael Jackson and the Temptations and some of that stuff, but some music. But some other stuff that'll appeal to our local crowd. So, and then Saturday's the final day of the fair. Things we got going on there. Again, the gates open early that day. We're open at 1 o'clock. Again, ride bands are $30 all day, and that's a good day for families to come out. If the weather's nice, and come out in the afternoon, kids can ride. It's not a real busy. There's not many lines, so they can get in there and ride the rides, and till they can't ride them anymore, I guess.
That's good for the kids. Kids, like I don't even like waiting in line.
Oh,
a
yeah.
long line like that, they get a little irritable and stuff.
Yeah.
This way gives them a chance.
Yeah. So good. Another tradition we've started, Jerry, is our beauty pageant. Miss Union County Fair pageant is going on that day. It's 2 to 5. We have about 30 entries already. There may be some more that have come in last minute. We had about 35 last year.
Yeah. So, I got to interview a couple of the pageant winners.
And we sponsor if it's a young lady that wants to pursue the pageant and move on to the state pageant, the Miss South Carolina pageant. The fair, we actually provide a scholarship for that winner, and they represent.
wow.
They do represent the fair as when they participate in that.
Right.
So,
I had her on my show.
yeah, that
this
Gregory
past-
girl,
yes,
right?
uh-huh.
Yeah. So we had her. So that's going on most of the afternoon. We'll have Monroe Smith. He'll perform for a little bit, and then we'll finish the night off with a very local favorite, Quest, will be
Quest
performing.
is a good band,
Yeah,
local
yeah,
band.
they've been
yes.
here locally. But the funnest thing we do that night is our car giveaway, Jerry.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, we're doing that again this year, thanks to Ford Family Towing and Carter's Automotive. They're our co-sponsors of that this year. So the way that works, people want to know, how do I get involved in that? Well, we got to be here to win it. Okay, we'll
Right.
do the
You
drawing.
got to be on site to win,
Yeah,
right?
we're going to do the drawing about 9 o'clock, and your entry is your ticket when you come in on Saturday. Okay, so you come, pay to get in, you'll get a special colored ticket. You keep your copy of the ticket, and then about 6 o'clock or so, we'll offer what we call second chance tickets. We'll sell additional tickets if you want to. I think we sell them like, I don't know, 4 for $10 or something like that, or $3 a piece. And you want to buy extra chances to increase your odds in the
Right.
pool, you can do that. So we'll do that, and we get great support out of that. It's, again, this is something we started about 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, and it's not a brand new car, but
Right.
it's brand new to somebody that wins it.
Exactly.
And,
It's a car. I mean,
yeah,
when I was a kid, I didn't care if it had wheels and the motor on it. If I can go down the hill with it, it
yeah.
was good.
So these are late model cars. These are, one of our chairman of the board, Tommy Ford, has one helped me work, because Ford Towing is a relative of his, and he worked with him and said, yeah, they're making sure they have a good car. So
Right.
they went through their sources and found one and cleaned it up. So
See,
haven't
I-
seen it yet. It's a Honda. I know that. So that's that'll be that night.
See, our folks, there's a Honda that you can go to the fair, and hey, I've seen people win on one ticket. So
Yeah,
just go to the fair, put your ticket in, you got a chance, but you got to be there to win, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
hang around. Come if you leave that week, come
Yeah,
back.
Come back. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
make sure you're there for that drawing, and you can drive away in a new Honda car.
New to you car.
That's right. See, if you got a teenager coming up,
Perfect.
see,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So, but we're really excited about bringing the fair this year. A couple of one new thing that we've got. You'll get to see if you come. And you talked about how you don't ride rides. Well, statistics show that over 50% of the people that attend the fair don't ride rides. They
Right.
come for, like what you said, the fair food, the atmosphere, the entertainment that we'll have.
Mm-hmm.
So we partnered with 4-H. Mark Cathcart and his group. He has a project called Forged in 4-H, which is
Exactly.
forging. And if you covered the farm show, you may have saw it, but he
Well, he
took
was
our,
on my show talking about it.
yeah, he took that petting zoo, I call it the old petting zoo building, because it was being underutilized. In fact, we haven't used it for a couple of years. He said, well, let me make this my forging classroom. So he went out and got some grants to buy the supplies, and he actually has built an 1800 style coal forging forge.
Wow.
Where it's got the bellows, the air that blows it in. He actually built the bellows himself, created a nice backdrop with fresh logs that somebody that cut them up, and rough cut wood and lumber, and made up the station. He's got the big anvils. He's got all the tools. So he's got the 1800s type setup, and then across the way he's got the classroom setting that he teaches these young people how to forge metal.
Right.
And they use propane forges, different, so, and he'll be having demonstrations all week. So real proud of what he's done with that. It's really added.
He's done great with
Nice addition. Nothing in the upstate like it. nothing in the state, I would venture to say, that's like that. It's a
Well, you
good
know, it used to be a show that came on TV,
Yeah,
Forged Steel.
Yeah, Forged and Steel. So
and I was intrigued with some of the things that they beat out and made.
Yeah, and this is kind of on the same. I guess that maybe sparked the popularity of it. So we got that, and the other thing that we're proud of is our main exhibit building. We have sold out again every year. We sell out that space, and more people. You know, these are businesses. These are people that have things to sell. They have a service they want to promote. They just might want to promote what they do and share what they do, their ideas, what they stand for. Some nonprofits. So we have about 45 vendors that will be in there.
Wow! So they can actually go there and shop.
Yeah, they'll have things to buy. There'll be services you can learn about. There'll be some nonprofits there. Maybe a politician or two that might shake your hand. But
yeah, I think I know a couple's going to be there.
That's right around the corner. Sure. So we did a good job there. I want to thank the county. The county has been supporting us, Philip and his council. The last couple of years, they have given us some funding to do much needed facility maintenance.
Right.
We have taken that money, because I went to him when he got elected. I said, these are county buildings. We don't own them. I say the Fair Association, we are trustees of this property.
Right.
We oversee it. We rent it. We keep the lights on. We use our budget to keep the lights on. All year long, I help facilitate any rentals, any events that goes on there. They go through me and the board to make sure that they adhere to what we want. But, the facility was in needing of some much needed upgrades. And last year the biggest project we took on last year was 2 of them. We painted the buildings, and we upgraded the bathrooms. What's important to mom and dad.
They definitely needed that.
Yeah, so what's important to mom and dad is what them bathrooms look like. So we spent a large chunk of money in there. We did some concrete walkways in some of the buildings. And this year we came in because the floors in some of those buildings were in rough shape. The Clemson room and the industrial building, the paint was chipping. It just looked terrible. So we had a guy come in and chipped all the paint off, and they got it down to the bare concrete and buffed it and sealed it, just kind of like the big box stores do now. So we spent a good bit of money on there, and we also spent some money on the other building that it needed some work. So it's much needed maintenance, some electrical upgrades, stuff you don't see, but it's important because we got to have safe hookups. So we did that, and I just want to publicly thank Philip and the council for supporting that, and he promised that he'll continue to do that year in and year out, because it's just like anybody's house. If you don't put money into it to fix it up,
it's going to fall down.
Yeah. So
get worse on it.
So anyway, we're really proud of that.
Tell me about Doc Magic.
Doc Magic is a kids themed magic show. He does a lot of balloon magic. It's really for our younger patrons.
Right.
It's comedy, kid level comedy, I guess. He does a strolling thing where he makes the balloon animals, and he incorporates some of that in his show.
You ain't gonna believe this, but I used to do the balloon animal.
Oh yeah.
I managed a catering company restaurant in Statesville, North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Over 35 years ago, and the owner there, he says, to keep the kids kind of quiet a little bit when they get a little rowdy.
Yeah.
So you go up and pull a balloon out. And I had to learn, first thing, I had to learn how to blow them up. It is hard to blow up.
Yeah.
But I got to where I can just pop one out, blow it up, and I'd make all kind of animals with it, swords and hats and stuff. And I probably forgot how to do most of it like that. But that's pretty cool for a kid. The kid loves it.
Yeah. So that's, we try to have kind of, when we pick the ground acts, we say, well, let's have a marquee act. Let's have an act that appeals to the whole crew, the whole crowd, and then we'll have some that appeal to the kids.
Yeah. Well, you got to do that. Kids, it's kind of an experience for the kids.
Absolutely.
It's like when we as kids, we look forward for Halloween, Christmas, and the fair.
Absolutely.
We look for that.
Yeah. So.
Now, tell me a little bit about the Sea Lion Splash.
Sea Lion Splash is a traveling show that will showcase. It's educational. It will showcase some educational features about sea lions, and of course they're trained, you know, so they will entertain. We actually, believe it or not, you know, they'll come in and they'll erect, for lack of a better understanding, an above ground pool, two of them.
Right.
You know, so in fact, I talked to one of my guys today. I said, hey, we got to get with Southside and see if they come out here with a fire truck to fill it up. So they fill up these pools, and they'll have them, and then they're on display too. So you'll see them however they're in their tractor trailer they travel in, and you can see them even when the shows aren't going on. But it's very entertaining.
And people, this is not a petting zoo.
No, but I think you can get pictures made after it's over. They find their way to get a buck or two out of people afterwards. But again, it's they're very entertaining. It's very, you know, you can go online and see it. Just go on YouTube and pull it up. You know, you can see the Sea Lion Splash Show.
You know, to me, people love animal shows, just like we were talking about the dogs. It was entertaining, and that lady does a fantastic job. Man, I can't even get my dog, when I used to have one, hard to go outside, much less
let's teach him how to perform. But so that dog show will be good too. Puppy Pals, again, they were on America's Top Talent, so they've got to be doing something right to make it into that. So.
Exactly. You just can't walk in there and say, I got a bunch of dogs.
No, that's right. That's right. So good stuff. We'll have some great shows for everybody, and encourage the folks. Hey, listen, you know, take advantage of the bargain night, take advantage of church night, and then, hey, come back on Saturday, you know, get in the drawing, you know. There's plenty of food. You can pick and choose where you want to eat every night. We'll have the picnic tables under the shelter set up, make it comfortable where you can sit there and eat.
And you're going to meet some of your friends you hadn't seen in a long time.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's almost like a reunion, because you see a lot of people, I ain't seen you in years. They're at the fair, it draws a lot of people.
You don't have to ride the rides either. You know, we'll have one show that we do every year. We partner with our school art teachers, is the art shows. We set that up in the Clemson room, and you know, they do a great job with that. So you might see your grandkids' artwork in there.
Oh yeah.
We do have the ag display where if folks got any garden products, if you grew some tomatoes, if you grew some okra, if you canned it, you can enter that in the fair. We're always looking for people to keep that going, because it's not one of those things that are, you know, it's not like when I grew up. My parents had huge gardens. People don't do that anymore as much. So if you have it, it looks good, bring it out there. If you got some canned goods, if you can green beans, you can whatever, bring it on out there. If you have quilting or knitting and stuff, projects that you do, you can put it on display, and we pay premiums. So anyway, so it's a great thing that I'll tell you, Jerry, we're one of the few fairs that's still in the state that really has a true agricultural theme. We're the only fair in the upstate that will have multiple livestock shows. You know, we're one of the few fairs that still does ag displays and pays premiums and blue ribbons and have it judged and so forth. So long as I'm director, we're going to hang on to those roots, because
I think it's very important, especially, you know, these kids that's in the FAA, you know, Future Farmers of America, and 4-H. I mean, it's the kids learning a lot on how to. Well, there's a chicken. I think I'd like to grow me a nice chicken. Or pretty, or the rabbits. And,
the rabbit project. It's some great stuff.
And even showing the cows and stuff. My nephew, he's growing up. He used to show cows at the fair, and he just absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah. They go all over. So, but so we're excited to bring it. It's an honor for me to continue to do this every year. Takes away from my real job, but you know what? I take a week's vacation to do it. So.
I tell you what, you got a real job all year round with this.
Yeah.
It's not just a 1 month thing or
it's
1
not
week thing.
And it's just not me, Jerry. I got some good help. Karen Finch is my admin secretary. She's been doing it. There are a couple guys that help me with the maintenance stuff. Tommy Bishop, TJ, they've been out here for about 4 weeks getting stuff ready.
Wow.
So and then of course the board is very supportive. We have staff we bring back every year. We don't have volunteers. We do pay them a little bit to give us their time, but they come back because they like to do it. So
Now, parking this year, is it going to be a little bit more challenging since they've across the street kind of built on?
yeah,
a couple things.
That space is still available, but yeah, it's not. You'll have to kind of walk around it to get to the crosswalk. But the crosswalk will be up and running every night. There's about 160 spaces at the stadium. We make arrangements to man the South State Bank space. Of course, there are spaces around on the street, around the fairgrounds that you can find. But again, across the street, the county made arrangements with Trad Bruce and that group to have access to that space and use it. You may have to walk a little bit. Friday's going to be a challenge this year because it's homecoming.
Oh, yes.
And a football game. It's going to be nice weather, so,
Good combination, though, to meet people.
Get there early if you want a good parking spot. There is a paid lot that's on the back side of off of Buffalo Road. They charge a few bucks to park there, but anyway, it's there.
And you don't have to worry about your safety going across that highway. I know that the police will be manning that area like that.
They'll have the lights up. They'll have the cones. Right. They'll have officers on duty. So
county council had put an extra budget in to pay the officers to be out there.
Right.
So during this week, people slow down. Just go slow to that area if you're coming through.
Pay attention.
Exactly. You got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Now, when the fair is over, the saddest part is watching them pack up and go. And the exciting part is watching them put these things together. Is there going to be a Ferris wheel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're bringing the big wheel.
Oh,
it's
right.
a big gondola wheel. Yeah. It's coming. They're having the swing ride. It's 120 feet tall. You'll see that coming down the bypass.
Yeah.
He's got 28 rides, and they're not all kids rides. A lot of them are what we call adult rides. So there'll be plenty. They're actually setting up. So they started yesterday, setting up some of the rides. So this ride company, he's got other spots he's playing. He was interrupted. His normal spot that he plays before us was interrupted because of the hurricane. So he has some of his staff. He'll get him out here early, which is good for him because it's Mondays. I call it Manic Money Affair Week. Everybody's moving in. We have a kickoff banquet. We do that every year to recognize our sponsors and our county government because we are county. We support and we invite them to come out and share dinner and learn about what's coming up for the fair. And
you want to mention your sponsors?
Yeah, we've got a lot of sponsors, and I need to probably look them up. But our grand champion sponsors that support us every year is the City of Union has been one of ours for years. The Union, of course, Union County Tourism has supported us. Union County Cattlemen Association has been a big sponsor of ours. And we had a major sponsor this year, Union Community Foundation, and made a major grant donation to us, so we're real proud of that. Some of our other sponsors that help support us, Miss Barbara Rippey, every year we can always count on her to help us out. I already mentioned that Ford Family Auto and Carter's Automotive has supported our car giveaway. Other sponsors include Gwen's Florist, Doug Gillum, Broad River Electric, the Wyatt Agency, Kingsmore Construction, Stephanie Kitchens, Maccabee Farm, our farms, USC Union, Austin Rehab, and Insurance Plus Real Estate round out the list. And then the other thing I didn't mention, and I don't have a list yet, we'll have it up on our website, but we do get sponsors from our participating churches for church night. Philippi Baptist is one of them, and I only just mentioned that because they're one of our major sponsors for church night. But we have, and you'll see the list. I don't want to try to name names because we've had about 42 churches
Wow.
that are supporting us financially so we can continue to do this church night.
Well, that's great.
And we don't ask for a specific donation. We just ask for whatever's in their heart to donate it. And so, many hands make light work, right? Is an old phrase. So, so many churches will help do that so we can continue to bring that event to the community. And I want to thank all of them that do participate. We do try to get your name out there on our website, and we have a TV bulletin board, if you will, at the pavilion at the fairgrounds that will highlight all of our sponsors there.
Okay.
So
you hear, folks, there's these sponsors. You need to go, go see them, thank them, or go support their business because they're here in Union supporting the community and supporting here. So do the same thing there. Now, we had the hurricane come through, and people's been stressed. So we had power off, and some still do. And this is a time to kind of get out, take a fresh breath of fresh air, and just kind of enjoy yourself. Let that go, and put it behind you, and just take that moment to come to the fair and be a kid again.
Yeah, absolutely. Helene's water over the dam. Let's move forward. And trying to get back to normal. That's one of the things a lot of people say. I just can't wait to get back to normal. And you watch my soap opera, right?
That's it.
So the fair is the way to do that. So come out next week and enjoy it. We're proud of what we bring and what we put on, and we want everybody to support it. Hey, just a quick safety reminder: we do have a clear bag policy. We'll have some signs out that will remind everybody. Unfortunately, that's the day. That's the world we live in today.
Exactly.
Any venue that you go into, even the ball games, you're going to have clear bags and go through metal detectors. We do want people, and I think people are used to it now. But again, we have to do what we have to do, and we want to keep everybody safe, and we're proud of the fact that we haven't had any issues recently to worry about. So we want to keep it that way.
It's a safety thing, and it's everybody got a clear back.
Yeah, or leave it in your car. Put your money in your pocket.
That's right. Well, Paul, really appreciate you coming on the show and talking about the fair and telling all the details of it and the hidden background secrets of how y'all do these things. You don't have a magic wand, but just about like one.
Yeah. And, we're proud of what we do, and again, I'm proud of the fact. Again, I've done this 15 years. Hope to do it many, many more years down the road. It's one of these enjoyable things, and really work with good people, and and again, it's kind of my way to really give back to the community by putting on a good event every year.
Okay, great. Okay, folks, you've heard from the director himself, and I tell you what, it's going to be a great fair this year. He's got some new things from last year. They don't use the same boring things over and over and over again. We get bored with it, so you're going to have some new stuff there. And I'm Jerry McKee, and
so here, one more thing, Jerry. I've got some passes. If you got a way to pass them out, if you have a call-in or something they can do, I'll give you 3 sets of 2 that you can figure out a way to pass them out.
Well, thank you very much. And I'll tell you what I'll do. Monday night on my podcast, I'll let you call in. And if you call in, you'll get it. Be first.
There you go.
That's right.
That'll work.
Okay. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and thank you for watching. And we're going to end this with this great commercial. And when it goes off, we're off.
This year, we're making a splash at the Union County Agricultural Fair, October 15th through the 19th. Dive into a world of fun, thrills, and unforgettable memories. Experience thrilling rides, indulge in delicious fair food, and immerse yourself in non-stop entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss our splash-tacular attractions. Sea Lion Splash. Watch these playful sea lions dazzle you with their tricks and charm in an interactive show. Puppy Pals, the stunt dog show that wowed America's Got Talent. Doc's Magic Fun Time Variety Show, a blend of magic and comedy that'll leave you in stitches. And don't miss the all-new Agri Golf. Challenge yourself to a hole-in-one. But that's not all. One lucky fairgoer will drive away in a car. We'll see you at the Union County Agricultural Fair. Making a splash has never been so much fun. Mark your calendars for October 15th through the 19th and visit itsmyfair.com for more